My name is D'Angelo Triplett. Welcome to Your Power Your Story, a podcast from After School Matters and the Creative Imposter Studios in Chicago. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your show.
Hey, it's Andrea Klender, Program Director at Power Your Story. This episode features an interview with Ryan McGraw, a disability advocate in Chicago. Ryan has been a featured speaker, trainer, presenter, and teaches adaptive yoga to people of all disabilities. But in this conversation, we're talking about Access Living, an organization in Chicago providing advocacy, independent living skills, transition support, peer support, information, and referrals for people with disabilities. As Access Living's health and home and community-based services community organizer, Ryan facilitates two groups, Taskforce for Attendant Services and Independent Voices. Ryan is passionate about home and community-based services because he believes everyone should have the right to live in the community with the services they need. This episode is actually part of a short season that we recorded right before the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was a season that was supposed to be about your future. Independent living and accessing supports and services in the community are topics that are super important to many of the students here at Power Your Story. We partner with a high school in Chicago called Ray Graham Training Center, which specifically supports students in learning life skills and transitioning into living and working in the communities where they live. More than half of our student producers currently attend Ray Graham, and you can hear more of their stories in the episode right before this one, which is a roundtable discussion about growing up with disabilities and bullying. So if you haven't already, go right back after this one and listen to that conversation. You can learn more about Access Living at accessliving.org and connect with Ryan on LinkedIn. Links are in the show notes, in the episode description, in your app, and at poweryourstorypodcast.com. Enjoy the interview.
Hello, my name is Devontae Triplett, and welcome to another exciting episode of Power Your Story. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work?
Hi, Devontae. It's good to be on. So, my name's Ryan McGraw, and I work at Access Living in Chicago. I work as the health and home and community-based services community organizer. And here I organize a group called the Taskforce for Attendant Services. That group is made up of people with disabilities, and the purpose of that group is really to advocate so that people get the services they need to live in their own home in the community, like PA services. And then we work on nursing home rights issues so that people can know what their rights are in the nursing home and get out of nursing homes to live in the community.
Does Access Living provide group homes or independent living resources?
So it provides independent living resources. It works with people to get set up in their own homes. We have our own independent living department that kind of comes out to your house and does an assessment and works with you to get what you need to live in your own home. And like I said, I work in the advocacy department, but we have an independent living department too.
All right, for my last question, what does the name Access Living mean?
Access Living, I have never been asked this question, and no one has actually told me what it means, but my best answer for that was that so that people with disabilities are afforded the best opportunity to have accessible living opportunities in the most self-determined way possible to live in the community.
Well, it's nice talking with you.
You're nice talking to you too.
My name is Jonas Zacharias.
I don't.
The first question, at what age can you use access living programs?
So we have a department that goes into the schools. So I believe we started elementary school. We have a program called the Disability Justice Mentoring Collective, where mentors with disabilities paired with kids without disabilities, and they work with them as a mentor.
Who inspired you to do that work you do?
Really, I'm just inspired by all the disability rights activists. There isn't one person, but it's the people who live in nursing homes, locked away from the community, and that they don't have the really right to say what they want, the right to say when they get up, and the list goes on, and that they need to be out and in the community with services that we can give all of those people services to live an independent life.
Very good. And the final question is, what are the most important skills people needed to learn to transition to independent living?
I think really the most important skills you need is really unique to the person. So really knowing what self-advocacy is. So self-advocacy means knowing what you want as a person and asking for it. So, for example, if someone tells you something and is acting like they know, like what you need in life, the ability to say, no, I need that, or I want to live in a specific place where someone else is telling you you need to live here. Independent living skills is very important. Knowing how to cook, clean is very important. Or if you're unable to do those things, some people maybe can't do those things because of their physical abilities, and they may need personal assistance to do that. However, even though they have a personal assistant, they're not any less independent than someone that can do them themselves because they employ their personal assistant. they tell their personal assistant what they need to do, and they have the freedom to fire or hire them. So really self-determination. That's very important with independent living.
Hi, my name is Joel.
Hi, Joe.
So I also want to live independently, and ideally I want someone to like check up on me like once a day, just as like a general checking, and help me make like doctor's appointments. How will I go about doing that?
Are you connected to the state of Illinois? Have you talked to them about your services?
As far as I know, I get SSI, and my mom is my legal guardianship, even though I'm 19 years old.
I would call the state of Illinois Department of Developmental Disabilities and see if you can get the forms to fill out for our personal assistant, because they would be better able to help you with that. And you should be eligible because they have personal assistants that, since you're on benefits, they can come in your home and check in on you and provide you with any help you want.
My next question is, how can we become better advocates for ourselves or for others with disabilities?
Well, I think finding an issue you're passionate about. What are you passionate about? And really learning about that issue. Like, for example, I'm very passionate about the right to live in the community for people with disabilities. So I have to look at, how can I make a change? What are people doing? So you may want to look at what advocacy groups may be out there that deal with issues. There's groups on housing, there's groups on healthcare. Both of those are very hotly talked about topics. So, like you want to educate yourself on how you could get a PA and advocate for yourself like that. Just educating yourself and talking to people.
What are the main 3 reasons people end up working in this field?
I think you have to be passionate about your work. You have to feel inside you have a drive to help people. I also think it's very helpful to have a disability yourself, because I'm not saying you have to have a disability, but you have people who say they know what's right for people with disabilities, but they don't have disabilities themselves. So it's harder for them to put themselves in people with disabilities shoes. And I also think you need to have a deep level of care for other people and really care about your group members and what they are doing and issues they have. I can't be disconnected from my group members and only look at the issues we may be working on. And so passion, care, and willingness to collaborate with others. I'm a community organizer, so I have to collaborate with a number of other groups about the issues we are working on.
What are some of the biggest challenges of independent living for people with disabilities?
I think the one of the biggest challenges is the stigma, the stereotype that people with disabilities can't live on their own because they have a disability. People may say, you should be in a nursing home. You're in a wheelchair. Or you have a developmental disability. You're not as smart as everyone else. So those are the biggest challenges, the social stereotype, and also the lack of services for people with disabilities. Like, do you know what the punch list is? They have a list that you have to be on to get services. And for people with developmental disabilities, the wait is 5 to 10 years to get services in the community. That is not right at all. You should be able to get services when you want and not be at risk of going into a group home or, God forbid, a state operated developmental center or nursing home. So the lack of services and the lack of understanding. Some of my friends have gone into the hospital because of health issues, and they don't want to release them to the community. They suggest them going into a nursing home. And these people have homes in the community. Why would you send them to a nursing home? And it should be totally your choice. And there's a lack of services between the young people. They don't really have a support system in place. So, as you know, I don't have to tell you that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Gennaro Jackson.
Hi, Lil.
So, what type of resources do Access Living give?
So, we give information and referral services, advocacy services, independent living services, peer support, and housing resources.
What is one thing you wish people with disabilities knew about living in Chicago?
I think that Chicago has a really great disability community, and I wish people with disabilities were not so isolated and came and joined in groups and really got out and did things, because Chicago has a lot to offer.
What is one thing you wish people who do not have disabilities knew?
Like how they see people with disabilities.
Honestly, I agree because honestly, when I was growing up, because I remember I was growing up, like, I was in elementary school, like when I was younger, some of the students would look at me differently, even the teachers. And I've been bullied, like in elementary school, I had my wrist fractured and my finger messed up. And then but when I got in 8th grade, that's when I stood up for myself and I wasn't taking no more mess right after. So then when I graduated, that's when I came here at Ray Graham when I was at 14 years old. Because like right now, I'm 19. And ever since I've been in this school, it's been a big change for me. It really has. And I'm very thankful for that. Honest to God, I'm thankful for that.
That's good. It is a big difference when you don't have to worry about other kids.
Yeah, and teachers bullying you too.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
We are just as capable as everyone else. That even though we move or think differently, we can do just as much as anyone else if we are given the proper resources.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like we all have like special gifts in our lives. Like personally, I do a lot of awesome things. Like I'm a YouTuber, music producer, and I do sign language.
Awesome.
And I also be working in church. Thank you, Ryan McGraw. It was nice meeting you, sir.
My name is Iman.
Hey, Ryan, how are you doing?
Good. What are your options for where we can live after we graduate?
I think it really depends on what you want. I mean, where do you want to go? Think it would be good for people to talk to your teachers in the state. Have you all drawn up a person-centered plan? Do you guys know what a person-centered plan is?
No.
So it's where you look at what you want to do in life, where you want to live, what you want to do. And you kind of look at steps you need to get there. So I think that really important that you do that, then I would challenge your teachers to educate everyone on that.
How did you personally learn to live independently?
Well, me personally, it was never not an option for me. I mean, I went to college away from home after high school, and I kind of just did what I needed to do, and it was expected. My parents expected me to live independently, so I kind of was expected to do the same thing that my siblings without disabilities were. And I'm not saying it was easy. I still do think so. It's not easy. And like I said, I don't have a personal assistant, but if you need a personal assistant to help you live independently, that's still living independently. So that's important to realize.
How do you keep up with paying the bills on your own?
I have a job, so now it's easier to pay bills on my own. However, a lot of people with disabilities on fixed income, it's hard. And I know that you have to really be careful and manage your money so that you can pay rent, buy groceries, do whatever. So I think that's tough for people with disability because things just really get more expensive. I have a question, and maybe do most of you live with your parents or in group homes? Or do any of you live independently?
Let's do a quick show of hands. Who lives with their family right now?
I live with my mom.
Okay, hands down. Does anyone live in a group home right now in this room? I think everyone in this room lives with a family member.
Okay. And how many of you are you there?
13.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys are young. You have time to live on your own and out in the community.
What's your message to tell people who want to live independently?
I think no matter what, do what you want. Don't let someone tell you you can't do it. There are support in the community that you can use to live independently. And I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying you won't have to work on skills, but become a self-advocate. Go to get others who live in the community and ask them how they did it. Go to your caseworker and ask them. And for you guys, you may have to advocate. Your parents may be telling you you can't live in the community, but it's important you let them know you're an adult. And I know from personal experience that isn't easy, but you need to let your parents know what you want and don't let them tell you, no, you can't.
Is there anything else you want to share with us today?
No, not really. Can I ask you guys a question? How many of you want to live independently?
Who wants to live not with their family at some point independently?
I do.
Raise your hand. Even if you're thinking about it, you're not sure.
I'm not sure, but
1, 2,
I'm not
3,
sure.
4, 5,
I'm trying to be honest
6,
myself.
7.
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 out of 13?
Yeah.
That's good. I think, like, if you receive services, you can really learn how to live independently. Like I said before, you can gain independent living skills from working with someone at Access Living. Like there's 4 community organizers. We all organize different groups. So you can become part of a group and meet people and learn how to advocate for certain issues. And it's really just a great place. And also there's a financial literacy class. So you're learning to manage finance. And they cross disability support group. So it really helps the person get out in the Chicago disability community and also learn skills they need to live independently.
Well, nice talking to you, Ryan.
Can we give Ryan a round of applause?
Power Your Story podcast is produced by Chicago High School students with production support from After School Matters and the Creative Imposter Studios. Our theme music is by DJ Sparks. Follow us and share our show with friends or family. Thank you for listening. Peace.